This week has been an amazing week. The bank 3 hour on a USD CHF trade, and the beautiful part of this was not the profit. I entered the trade a bit late, and I followed all the rules of the book. This is like the typical way textbook trade. All my trades should look like this: win or loss. If you're here for the first time watching me, this is the detox trader, and I'm here documenting my journey to seeing if it's actually possible to pass one of these prop firm accounts. Now, for context, I'm not deep in negative in there. I've lost one prop firm. Oh no, I haven't lost two. I've lost two prop firm accounts, and I'm being careful and I'm following the rules. And I'm trying to see if it's possible to actually do this thing because it is possible. So, without further ado, let me show you this beautiful trade that I took, and hopefully you can replicate it in your own trade or whatever. So here we are. This is the trade. Actually, it says I didn't I didn't pick the I didn't the TP was hit, but I think I went out somewhere around there, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. And before then, I had taken partials at around 1 to 3 or thereabout. That close out maybe 80% or 85% of the position. I will insert some kind of screenshot to just show show that I genuinely took the trade and all of that. But yeah, this is where we are. So again, just for this is a weekly chart, and I'm just showing this because I said I came into this trade late, and I did genuinely come into this trade late because on Friday would have been the most perfect time. At this point, I mean, put out my this was the right place to have entered this trade, but I wasn't too conscious of it. It was while I was doing my end of the week just look back and potential trade for next week that I spotted this, and I knew it was something that was going to play out. So it met all the criteria for my trade. So I put it on the books because I knew that it was going to be a Monday thing and I wasn't going to waste too much time. I think I went into this trade not on Tuesday if I wasn't mistaken, but I knew it was something that was imminent. I knew it was something that wasn't going to take all the way into Wednesday or Thursday to be able to go into it. And by the way, I'm still holding two trades currently that are still looking good right now. So let me just walk you through what I saw before the week opened, before the new trading week started. I would try my best to start us off at Friday. Yeah, I'll start on a Sunday. So, like I said, this was where we were supposed to enter this trade. You look at this is a pure, again, a continuation system that I was talking about. So, if you look at where we are, we had broken out. I'll just run you through this as quickly as possible. This is the daily time frame. This is where I look at. This is the foundation and the backbone of how I am looking at the trade. I choose the daily time frame, mostly the weekly time frame, because it's just the 1 hour. The 4 hour is good, but the 1 hour, 30 minutes, man, it's too many candles to observe, and most of the time you just miss the details. So I only go into those time frames if I need a bit more detail. But other than that, just for a general summary of what's going on, this is how I look at it, the daily time frame. So the biggest thing, this I've been monitoring this zone for a little bit. So the biggest thing I want you to look at, if you watch a few of my videos, this is a break of structure. So this at this point signal the potential continuation. Let's not bother with all of this, but this signal the potential. This was a massive consolidation, and this was an intention to sell. And then get that arrow. Where is this? Where is the arrow? So price comes, pulls back into the zone, and then will sell off. But key thing to take into account is no lows, with no light, no, we're not able to take any lows because this is where price came to and just chose to stop. Okay. So again, this is a daily time frame. So this was a long, I think at some point, at this point, I was also engaging the market as well, trying to sell off at this. I think I took a few sells here. I'm not sure. I took one or two sells here, but I'm not sure. But the key thing to have taken away is that finally we broke out of this zone. This is what we're worried about. This here, I just drive you all of this price action right here. This is what we're worried about. So the key thing is we've taken the zone out perfectly, and then we've pulled back, and then we've broken structure again. Key thing, structure. If you watch the previous video that I posted, market structure is the break of structure is an intention by the market to tell you that yes, we want to keep going higher. There's a likelihood that we'll keep going higher, or at least we might attempt to go higher. So that's all you want to know. Whether it goes higher, does the attempts to go higher is what you have to want to have at the back of your mind. So like that's now you understand why I said this was where I was supposed to take this trade, but obviously I didn't catch that quite early. Sorry, I'll take this out now. So we have a break of structure there, a clean body close. So market structure check. The trend, the trend is all in our favor. If you look at, I also use the moving averages. You look at the moving averages, the purple one, the pink one, as you can see, is the 200 moving average. I use the 10, 20, 50, and 200 moving average. Everything on the daily time frame was pointing to the upside. So the chances of taking a buy and buy feeling unlikely, not impossible, but very unlikely because you could have bought at the wrong place. Again, if you remember, I told you I entered this trade at the wrong, I entered this trade a bit late, but regardless, it was still a valid setup. So this was where we are. The the market, this was on Sunday or so. The market opened. We just go one candle further. Now this was where the market opened. Unfortunately, I can't. I'd have to go into a smaller time frame to explain what is going on. So this again, keep in mind the daily time frame. Major thing to also take in mind is that we're also bouncing off my 20 moving average. I'll take it a bit closer for you to see. We're respecting the 20 moving average. This is a strong bullish trend, so we don't want to go against the bullish trend. So we're respecting the bullish trend. Nothing has closed, no candle. Even this one closed and then ran back in. Rejection, more rejection, more rejection, more rejection. So everything lined up to being bullish. This was what I was looking at on Monday morning. So I will go to 4 hour time frame again. Sorry about that. That has cancelled out. So again, like I said, this would have been the right place to take this trade because if I knew if I was monitoring this setup, everything lined up in the sense that again you can see this is my clear breakout. This is the breakouts that we talked about on the daily time frame. We're on the H4 time frame. So this is the lowest. I might go into the 1 hour to take the entry, but this is the lowest I will go. So this right here would have been my entry, the original entry, if I was observant to this trade. This here would have been the entry because this is the low. Key thing to take into, if you watch my previous video, this is the low that potentially led to the high. All right, this is also a break of structure right there on the daily on the H4 time frame. This is a break of structure because what, this is the low that led to the high. This is the high that led to the low. This is this high. I'll just highlight it for you to see. This is this high that led to this low. This is a break of structure. Hell, it could have broken this one too as well, and it wouldn't have changed anything. So for me, that was it. Again, we're in a bullish environment. That's all I needed, some kind of intention. So this was the pullback, and then this was the one that really, this is the run that confirmed it. And then we had this pullback. Let me get that arrow. We had this pullback right here, all the way down to, sorry about that, all the way down to the zone. So this would have been where we're looking to enter the trade. But unfortunately, this was on Friday or thereabout, and I wasn't looking at it. I hadn't taken notice of this setup, so I didn't take this here. However, sorry, turn this out. Monday came around, and then I was looking at this zone here. I had a pending order. I think Monday I had some kind of pending order sitting. Yeah, I think I still have it highlighted. Yeah, I did have a pending order sitting here, hoping that price was going to come back into the zone and we can take the buy. Because again, this was another intention to buy. This was break of structure right there. Everything I do has to, there has to be, it's just break of structure and the moving averages. So this was a break of structure. I was waiting for price to potentially come back. Yeah, no, not this one. I was waiting for price to come back into the zone here, right there. My bad. Into the zone here, but price never really came back. And when it didn't, it was hovering around here. And yeah, sorry, this was Monday. Yeah, so I was hoping that price was going to come take this low out, take this. The idea of manipulate this low and then take us to the top. But then no, it didn't do that. It just came, respected it, and then broke out. Now, when this happened, I knew that this was not going to price wasn't coming back here. So what I simply did was I focused on the next zone, which was this, which was this. So take that out. That was the next zone that I focused on. So as soon as I was watching this, price comes right back into this. So at this point, the idea of it selling was very, 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 very unlikely. So price comes back in here again. For those who I also kind of added the inducement concept to it. So this all of this consolidation you see here, I'll just put it in the box. I'll take this out. Don't worry about that. All of this consolidation you see here was just typical inducement. So I was waiting for us to manipulate all of these lows. This is the accumulation, blah, 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 the manipulation right there. And then you got the distribution right there. So it's all of that and all of that stuff. So I was just waiting for that to happen. But what is interesting, what is different from what everybody does is I use my moving averages as a guide, something of a gauge. So on this 1 hour time frame, you can see the first intention for me to have bought was this first rejection from my 50 moving average. My 200 moving average was sitting well where it's supposed to be, well below all the moving averages. Strong bullish intention. So this first rejection was there, and then if you go on the 15-minute, there was a breakout. I will show you that. There we go. So this was the breakout. As soon as price, honestly, I didn't even wait for this to close. As soon as this candle happened, when the formation of this second candle, this is where I entered the trade, my stop loss right there. Then yeah, I believe that my stop loss right there. Yep. That was the trade. And then I took it. My final target was obviously the swing high, the highest point. There we are. That was the trade. So this was my final highest target. But by the time price got to this, I took out, I think if I wasn't mistaken, right there, I took out some partials and then kind of held the rest of it till we broke structure a bit, and then I took out the rest of it. Thinking of it now, I should have held the trade because anyway, you can think about most of this thing because you can look at how the angle of my movement, the moving average. This is the 10 moving average. This is holding very steady. This is a strong bullish. This is a strong bullish sign. The 50, the 20 is under, the 50 is under. So everything is pointing that this is a strong bullish market. There's no need for us to exit any positions at this point. But I took that trade because I took the exited that trade because my funded account was in a really, really bad position. So I needed to bank in something to kind of bump it up in case the market chose to turn around. So I took what the market gave. So you know that saying where you never go broke taking profit. So that's exactly what I thought about, and I just didn't. If I was in a better place, I probably would have held the whole thing. So I do not regret it. Today has been a beautiful week. I've taken a total of three trades. Two of them are in some kind of profit, and then one of them, which is the USDCHF, are closed out in profit. It's a beautiful week. It is a fantastic week. You know, before this, the last week was good. Before last week it's been horrible. It's been the last 5, 6, 7 weeks has been absolutely horrible. But I'm just grateful for some kind of hope. You know, I'm glad for last week and I'm glad for this week. Hopefully I can just keep following the rules and follow playing my playing by my rules and hoping that I come out green, or at least I don't lose as much for the rest of bringing back my for the rest of the phase of me trying to bring back my account to break even and then potentially passing the phase one and the phase two. Yep, that is it for me on this one. Thank you if you stayed this long. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe and just follow the journey. Appreciate you. Peace.